going to start with the first poem I have published, and I wrote this in response to the Taoiseach's apology to the Magdalene women, and I happened to be reading on that day as well an essay called In Praise of Shadows. So it's called Redress after Junichiro Tanizaki. Give us this day your problems. Allow us to torment ourselves about shadow and beauty and good taste, and we'll swap all that we've got for 1 hour in the life of a tortured artiste who wants to sit in a fancy lav and listen to a mosquito. We'd leave the shadows to the banshee and the puka, and the nun who died young. She lurks and snaps bony fingers as your backside hangs through a hole in a bench, and you tilt forward to tear a scrap of newspaper. All useless decoration stripped in Sunday's well, where little Nellie dances for Holy God. Our Tane boys march, and Heeny's henhouse child views the moon through a chink in a plank. Ancient Magdalens and crones, sister stitchers with blackened teeth and white pinched faces glowing over modest grey kimonos. Enhance heaven's cloth, embroider Limerick lace, give us this day. Like a lot of people of my age, I learned Pádraig Pearse's poem The Mother when I was young, and I was always intrigued by the notion that he thought he knew how his mother would feel after his death. Blessed after Pádraig H. Pearse. I grudge them, more than any of you will ever know, my 2 strong sons and their stupid, bloody protest. I have cried all night and all day and every night since then, ever and forever, no amen on my tongue. For Pat, our melancholic prophet, fainting at a drop of blood, but calling out for insurrection over an old warrior's grave. He set off that morning, his pawn-shop sword threatening to catch the spokes and throw him off his bike. And Will, my baby boy, his big brother's shadow, took the tram to town to throw away his life too. You must not grieve. You too will be blessed, Pat wrote to me that terrible day. Blessed? Ha! I tend the graves. I feel the burn of lime on my boy's flesh. And moving along, I'm on the theme of mothers today. I wrote this for Jean McConville, who was abducted and murdered by terrorists in 1972. And the voice is the imagined voice of the female terrorist who abducted her, Brooch. Trussed up like an old hen and sulking when we pulled the sack off. A touch of steel under her ear persuaded her. I'd say it was a fair trial, rigorous maybe. But we gave her time and more than one chance to tell the truth and shame the devil. She said it began with a knock, a thump, like a bag of coal falling, and there he was, a wee fella, dying on her threshold. We heard she had provided a cushion. A pillow, she said, that's all it was. I recall the crack of my boot to her head. The chief was kind, patient as a saint. Tell us all, he coaxed, and you'll be back with the Waynes by bingo time. I held a cigarette to her mouth, pulled off her wedding rings, and we left her in her cardie, an old nappy pin on the lapel. It's that pin that haunts my sleep. Warrior mother's rust-bronzed brooch, sole relic of the disappeared. And from mothers to fathers, my father lived from 6th of October 1928 until the 4th of December last year, his final ambition to get to 90. He saw a lot of changes in this country, and this is one of the stories he told me. Saoirse, on one of those hot summer's evenings, between the troubled times and the emergency, he found a penny outside the mart. Backed by the harp of Saoirse Éireann, a proud hen, with confident wings and abundant tail feathers, sheltered 5 chickens and promised better times to come for some, if not for all. He remembers considering the box on the nun's table, the slot snugly cut to fit a brown penny, over the picture of a hungry child. But his small palms still smarted from an encounter with the good sister's strap. So when his father matched the copper with another, the price of a bag of licorice sweets, he forgot the nun's black baby. He thinks on these things now, as a young woman with licorice braids and the whitest teeth he has ever seen, coaxes him with semolina spoonfuls and calls him her darling boy. Thank you for the opportunity to read here today.